Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of the North Shore Drive podcast. I'm Jason Mackey, of course, with Ray Fittipaldo for our weekly chat. Excited to do this one, Ray. We're going to talk about Steelers at Carolina. It's not the world's most exciting game, but it is a preseason game. I'm going to talk about the wide receiver situation. Do we feel better about Roman Wilson? What's going on with Calvin Austin III? Is Gabe Davis an option? Who knows? We'll also go over the running game, some linebacker depth. We even talk communication issues in the secondary. Before we do that, though, just want to give you a short message from our friends at Pella Windows and Doors of Pittsburgh. There's no better place to get new windows and doors installed in your home than Pella, who can help you save on energy costs year-round. Schedule a free in-home consultation with your local Pella Windows and Doors to find out the right product for your home and budget. Give them a call at 866-593-1560 to discuss your project further. Again, 866-593-1560 to get started planning your new windows and doors installation with Pella Windows and Doors of Pittsburgh. All right, Ray, so we had some slight news yesterday. I don't know if it's news, but Calvin Austin III doesn't look likely. I don't know. Translate it for me a little bit. It looks a little concerning that he might not make it for week one.
Yeah, he did some work on a side field yesterday, Jason, but when we got to him in the locker room after practice, he was asked, are you going to be ready for week one, or are you hopeful for week one? And he basically said it's going to be in the hands of the training and the medical staff. And, you've been in enough locker rooms, Jason. If a guy knows he has a chance to play,
you just say, I'm going to play. Yes, I'm going to play.
He's going to play. So, unfortunately for Calvin, and, we'll find out in a week or so, he might be starting on IR for the second time in 3 seasons. Not a great development for him. Not a great development for the Steelers offense, but some guys have been stepping up in his absence, and they're going to take a look at Gabe Davis here today with another medical checkup. So they will have options if he does land on IR, but not an ideal situation for Arthur Smith and his offense.
Ray, they're killing me. What are we doing here? They brought in Gabe Davis, mini camp? It might have been OTAs. I don't remember when.
Yeah, late May, early June. Yeah.
If it was that enticing, wouldn't they have done something? I want them to do something. Don't get me wrong. I wrote a column a couple days ago. I want them to address wide receiver. I don't think they have enough depth there, but I don't know if Gabe Davis is my answer.
Yeah, I don't know that they know that either. But, the Jaguars did release him because of an injury, and I think he was still recovering when they took a look at him in May. And I think there were some concerns then, and the Steelers are going to bring him back in today and see if that knee is any better. I don't get the feeling that it's imminent. Listen, they could get great news today, and the doctors can dot the I's and cross the T's, and maybe they will sign him today. But it just seems like maybe they're taking a look at their options and seeing where Gabe Davis is in his recovery from that knee injury.
Are you buying stock on Roman Wilson?
I am. He looks really good, Jason.
I am too.
Michigan was a running offense, and he was just an all-around receiver for them, right? Like he ran some deep patterns, and he made some big plays, but he was also catching intermediate passes and doing whatever it was that needed to be done within that offense. But you could see the speed in his game in that game against Tampa Bay. I mean, he was running past their starting secondary, both the cornerback and the safety, and he went up and got that ball, and that's what you like to see. We got the Steelers got DK Metcalf. I think we all know what he's going to be. He's going to be a catch and run guy. He's going to be an occasional deep threat, but whenever you have 2 guys who can stretch a defense, and then you start working in those tight ends, you could sort of see how things might unfold for the Steelers offense if they could ever put this whole thing together.
Yeah, I mean, I like their usage of Roman Wilson. I'm buying stock in it too. I like his speed. I like the speed combined with what Calvin Austin III can bring. I feel like both can be true, right? Like we can look at their wide receivers and say, I wish there were more options here. I wish they had a different type of threat, but I'm really encouraged by the guys they do have. I think it would be silly to turn that down. And I don't think I was wrestling with this after the preseason game on Saturday. Like it's limited action. Right? Like, is Roman Wilson just doing this because it's preseason? He's not going against top competition, something like that. Like, I don't buy that. We've seen enough at practice. You've seen a lot more than me. I like what he's putting into this. I like the way Aaron Rodgers is responding to him. It's not just, 4 catches on 6 targets in games. I like the body of work here.
Yeah, you're right. The body of work is there. The only unknown going into the season, and Jason, we're not going to see this Thursday night either, is the chemistry with Aaron Rodgers. And not only with Roman Wilson, but honestly with that entire receiving core. You just don't have a great feel for how that's going to be. They started okay against the Bucs in that joint practice, and they kind of finished on a down note. I'd say the same thing about training camp. It was a struggle early. They got better, but was it ever really consistent? No, not really. I mean, you would see glimpses that would make you think, okay, this is going to be okay, but not really on a consistent basis. And let's just push this forward a week, Chris. Cut down day is
Chris.
Chris. 1 week from today. Let's say the Steelers do opt to put Calvin Austin on IR. Is Scotty Miller your number 3?
Oh gosh, no.
Is Ben Skoranek your number 4? I mean, Scotty's had a great camp, tremendous camp, but he had like 5 catches last year.
Yeah.
So it just sort of does illustrate the need, maybe not for like an immediate guy to step into the rotation, but like a depth guy. If there's injuries, you need guys to plug in there who have NFL experience and guys who have been there and done that.
All right, so let's do a little vibe check, maybe as the kids say. I'm not cool enough to really get that right, Ray, but we've been tracking the running game, man. We're all watching Kaleb Johnson, what he's going to do Saturday. I was encouraged by it. I thought he ran a lot more decisively, more confidence. It has to be what they're looking for. I don't know if that's going to change the depth chart. I really doubt it. But, as we look at the running game, there's obviously been concerns about it too. I think some of it's offensive line, some of it Jaylen Warren's not playing at all. Where are you at with the running game and the progress of Kaleb Johnson? They're probably separate conversations.
I got to see it when it counts.
You
mentioned Kaleb Johnson was better, but Jason, he didn't run behind the first team offensive line. They didn't put him in there until after the starters were out. So it's not a reflection of Kaleb Johnson necessarily. It's that the first team offensive line hasn't really done well in the running game. And listen, it's been limited, and there are reasons for their struggles. Listen, Zach Frazier was going up against one of the best nose tackles in the NFL in that joint practice and again on Saturday night. Okay, that's one excuse if you want to say it's an excuse. One true excuse, and I will give this to the Steelers. I think it's 100% true. Pat Freiermuth and Jonnu Smith haven't played at all in the preseason. So if you're looking to evaluate the running game, it's kind of hard to do when you don't have your 2 top tight ends in the mix. And Darnell Washington's exposure in these preseason games probably limited to 20, 25 snaps. He hasn't played a whole heck of a lot either. And he's your best blocking tight end. So, I do see how Arthur Smith might have more confidence in this group than people like me on the outside do at this point. But when you're like 25th, 27th, 31st in the league in rushing, all these past seasons, I know they improved to middle of the pack the last couple of seasons. But when you have that in your history and you haven't been a good running team for a long time, for me, I got to see it. They got to show it to me when the games count starting in New York here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how much we're going to see on Thursday, Ray, but you can bet on Thursday's preseason game if you'd like via the FanDuel Sportsbook. The Steelers' odds to win the next game are minus 215. So if you want to get involved, make sure you get over to FanDuel Sportsbook and do that. Let's just go over to defense, Ray. We're going to take our break a little bit earlier. I want to separate them that way. I want to get into Cole Holcomb, the linebacker, some stuff going on in the secondary. I know you guys have been writing and talking about Y.A. Black. We did that a little bit last week, but I want to talk about Holcomb, what the linebacker depth chart looks like, and communication issues, some concerns that I might have over there. So quick transition. We'll get into our second segment after this.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.